Police issue wanted bulletins in connection with disappearance of Gold Miner Delon Alexander. 5 months after the mysterious disappearance of gold miner and former policeman Delon Alexander, law enforcement officials now believe he was abducted along Church of God Road in Buxton, East Coast Demerara, on May 7, 2024. The Guyana police force has issued wanted bulletins for 2 suspects linked to the case. 28-year-old Kevril Hatton, also known as Smokey, of Lot 36 Vigilance, and 42-year-old Mark Cromwell, who goes by the aliases Demon and Diamond, of Lot 40 Vigilance and Lot 10 Buxton. On the morning of his disappearance, Alexander left his home to purchase building supplies from Best Buy in Strathspey. Afterward, he reportedly boarded a bus bound for Benjamin's Bakery in Buxton and has not been heard from since. Authorities are intensifying their search efforts, with growing concerns about Alexander's safety given the circumstances of his abduction. Alexander, a former policeman, had a prior run-in with the law, having been caught trafficking a significant amount of marijuana in 2018. While this past incident adds layers to the ongoing investigation, the police urge anyone with information related to Alexander's whereabouts or the suspect's locations to come forward. The Guyana police force calls upon the public to provide any leads that may aid in locating Delon Alexander and apprehending the 2 suspects. Information can be shared anonymously through the nearest police station or by calling the hotline. Police investigating assault on Bartica man injured by corrosive substance attack. The Bartica police are investigating a disturbing assault in which a 38-year-old man, Jermaine Thornhill, was doused with a corrosive substance by an intoxicated friend during a birthday celebration. The incident occurred around 9:30 p.m. on October 22, 2024, at Thornhill's home, Lot 44, 1 3/4 miles, Bartica. Authorities are currently searching for the alleged attacker, identified as Wayne Johnson. According to preliminary police reports, Thornhill was celebrating his birthday with family and friends when a dispute arose between him and his wife. Johnson attempted to intervene despite being asked to refrain, leading to a heated exchange. Johnson left the premises but returned shortly afterward, carrying a container with an unidentified liquid. He allegedly confronted Thornhill, saying, "Thornhill, look at this acid," before throwing the substance at him. Although Thornhill managed to turn away, the substance splashed onto his back and hands, causing severe pain and burns. Johnson fled the scene on a motorcycle, and Thornhill was taken to the Bartica Regional Hospital, where he was treated for burn injuries and remains in stable condition. Police are actively investigating the incident and searching for Johnson, who is believed to be evading authorities. Anyone with information on Johnson's whereabouts is encouraged to contact the Bartica police station or the nearest police station. Man killed, 8 injured in Port Katuma truck accident. Yvin Dealey tragically lost his life in a truck accident that left 8 others injured on Thursday night. The accident occurred on 5-Stage Hill in Port Katuma, Northwest District, when a truck, reportedly returning to Port Katuma, overturned on the steep hill. One of the injured individuals is reported to be in critical condition. Medical personnel at the scene are preparing the individual for urgent air transport to a hospital in Georgetown to receive specialized care. Preliminary reports indicate that the truck lost control while descending the hill, resulting in a rollover. The accident underscores the challenging terrain and hazards of transporting individuals and goods in the region. Authorities are conducting an investigation to determine the cause of the incident. Further updates on the condition of those injured will be provided as they become available. CANU operation leads to arrest of 2 Brazilian nationals in Lethem for firearms possession. Officers from the Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit, CANU, arrested 2 Brazilian nationals during a routine patrol in Lethem on Thursday after discovering 2 unlicensed firearms in their vehicle. The suspects, identified as 36-year-old laborer Paulo Cesar Buckley da Silva and 23-year-old hairdresser Larissa Soares Garcia Rodriguez, both from Boa Vista, Brazil, were apprehended around 12:45 p.m. outside the Takatu Hotel. Acting on credible information, CANU officers intercepted a white vehicle with Brazilian license plates, QUM 2x10⁶, parked outside the hotel. Upon approaching the vehicle, officers introduced themselves and communicated suspicions of illegal items in the vehicle. Paulo was found in the driver's seat, while Larissa was seated in the back. Following a routine check, both occupants exited the vehicle to allow a search. While no illegal items were found on Paulo's person, a search of the vehicle revealed a black .38 special revolver without ammunition hidden under the driver's seat and a suspected green rifle beneath the back passenger seat. When questioned about licenses for the firearms, both Paulo and Larissa admitted they did not possess any. CANU officers promptly detained both suspects and transported them to the Lethem police station. During interrogation, conducted with a translator's assistance, Paulo disclosed that he had brought the firearms from Brazil intending to sell them in Lethem. The firearms were photographed, marked, and sealed for evidence, and the vehicle was secured as part of the ongoing investigation. Both suspects remain in police custody as authorities work to determine the firearms' origins and the intended market for their sale. Sophia mother urgently seeks $6 million for life-saving surgery. Leslyn Richmond, a 39-year-old mother of 8, is in a race against time as she urgently seeks to raise $6 million for a life-saving brain surgery. Richmond, who resides in Sophia, has been diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, and it is believed she has already lost vision in one eye due to the condition. With her youngest child only 8 years old, Richmond's family is doing everything possible to support her, but they still need significant assistance to cover the high cost of her surgery. The surgery, a complex and delicate procedure, is not currently available at Georgetown Public Hospital and must therefore be done privately. While Richmond and her family have made significant efforts to gather funds, they remain short of the necessary amount. The $6 million goal does not include additional post-surgery and aftercare expenses, which are expected to be substantial. The family is appealing to all who may be able to help, whether through financial donations or support in other ways, to reach out. Every contribution will bring Richmond closer to accessing the care she urgently needs to save her life. Single mother of 4 seeks assistance to rebuild after devastating fire leaves family homeless. Kimberly, a 29-year-old single mother of 4, is urgently seeking support from the community to rebuild her life after a tragic fire left her family homeless and her youngest child in need of surgery. 5 months after the fire ravaged her home at Samaru Dam, Putoroyan, West Bank Demerara, Kimberly is still struggling to recover and reunite her family under one roof. On that fateful day, Kimberly was tending to her livestock when she heard her daughter shouting, "Mommy, fire!" By the time she returned, flames had overtaken the bedroom where her baby boy was sleeping. Kimberly acted quickly to rescue her son and rushed him to the hospital, but the family lost all of their belongings before the fire service arrived. Her son, now 1 year old, suffered severe burns to his hand, left foot, chest, and belly and endured a 3-week hospital stay. Although he has since been discharged, he now needs surgery at a private hospital to release contracted skin that restricts his arm movement, but Kimberly cannot afford the procedure. Since the fire, Kimberly and her children have been forced to live apart. Her 2 daughters are currently with her mother, while she stays with relatives, struggling to meet her family's basic needs. "It would mean so much if I could get some help so my kids and I could be together again," Kimberly shared, expressing her hope to rebuild a safe home for her children. Before the incident, Kimberly made a living through small-scale poultry farming, but the fire, caused by an electrical malfunction, destroyed her home, leaving her without a source of income. Although she has started rebuilding with the help of family, her limited funds have run out. Anyone willing to support Kimberly's efforts to rebuild her home and help with her son's medical needs is encouraged to reach out. Any assistance, big or small, can make a life-changing difference for this family in need. Government has nothing to fear, let Brutus speak. Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, addressed media queries on Thursday regarding allegations surrounding Assistant Commissioner of Police Calvin Brutus, who faces multiple charges, including misconduct in public office, money laundering, and financial fraud. In a press conference, Dr. Jagdeo affirmed that the government remains unperturbed by any information Brutus may disclose. The General Secretary responded to speculations that Brutus, currently under investigation, might reveal sensitive information, potentially implicating government officials. He could let out cats, dogs, pigs, anything he has and wants to let out, let him do so, Jagdeo stated, emphasizing that the government has nothing to fear from Brutus's statements. Jagdeo further suggested that Brutus may be under the impression that the government might be reluctant to pursue justice, assuming that Brutus's disclosures could place pressure on government officials. However, Jagdeo dismissed this notion. He is hoping that maybe there will be fear in some quarters in the government that he could say something compromising to us, and they would relent on ensuring justice is served. He got to be thinking again if that's the case. The Assistant Commissioner and his wife have been under investigation in recent months over serious allegations related to financial crimes. Brutus was arraigned on Thursday at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he faced 30 charges, including misconduct in public office, money laundering, and obtaining money by false pretense. The PPP has reiterated its commitment to ensuring accountability and transparency in public office, regardless of rank or position. Opposition calls for scrutineers to monitor cash grant distribution, citing concerns of potential mismanagement. News source: Leader of the Opposition and People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, Aubrey Norton, has called for the implementation of independent scrutineers to oversee the distribution of the government's $100,000 cash grant program. The call comes amid concerns voiced by the opposition that the program may be susceptible to corruption, with fears that funds could be directed toward government supporters and associates. At a press conference today, Norton questioned the recent announcement by Vice President Barrett Jagdeo that non-resident Guyanese would be eligible to receive the cash grant if they are in the country during the distribution period. Norton expressed unease, suggesting the eligibility expansion could lead to another avenue for corruption, especially given what he described as insufficient safeguards in the grant distribution process. While we believe that Guyanese from the diaspora, who are in Guyana, registered, and have a national identification card should be able to access the $100,000 one-off cash grant, we are deeply concerned that what Jagdeo and the PPP are doing is creating another avenue for corruption, Norton said. The opposition leader also alleged that the People's Progressive Party, PPP, holds identification cards for numerous overseas-based supporters, which could facilitate unauthorized collections. In response, he called for opposition-appointed scrutineers to be present throughout the distribution process to ensure transparency and deter potential misuse of funds. Norton additionally raised concerns about inconsistencies within the government's handling of the cash grant initiative, suggesting a lack of cohesion between President Irfan Ali and Vice President Jagdeo. He noted that when President Ali first announced the cash grant, he did not mention extending eligibility to non-resident Guyanese, which Norton claims signals internal division and poor planning within the government. Originally, the government stated that this cash grant was to assist Guyanese facing the high cost of living, Norton argued, questioning the logic of including non-residents in a program intended to alleviate local economic strain. Criticizing the government's priorities, Norton also referenced its resistance to a salary increase for teachers, contrasting it with what he views as a willingness to allocate substantial funds to non-residents. He argued that this approach underscores a disregard for local citizens, alleging that the initiative is intended to benefit PPP affiliates. The PNCR is calling for enhanced accountability measures to be applied to the cash grant distribution, aiming to ensure the program fulfills its intended purpose of assisting the Guyanese people equitably and transparently.